Well, that's got the wrong thumbnail on it, but whatever. Well, that's got the wrong thumbnail. And I'm echoing. There we go. Alright. Yeah, that's the wrong thumbnail. We're not drawing pony stuff, but we might probably end up drawing pony stuff anyway because that is inevitability at this point. Okay. I used to do this every day and then stopped doing it and somehow forgot how to do it properly. So this is incredibly chaotic and spontaneous. How's the audio, guys? How do I sound? Can you hear me okay? Is the music too loud, or is the music too quiet, or am I too quiet? Let me know. And we will fix it. Because we can do that while we're streaming. We can fix stuff like that. Audio is good. Fan-friggin-tastic. So I'm just going to let the folks on Twitter, because I refuse to call it X, that I am streaming. Spontaneous stream. Because professionalism, what's that? No clue. Music's a little loud. Oh, okay. How's that? If I make it any quieter, I won't be able to hear it myself. So, yeah, that's as quiet as I can really get it without just muting it altogether. So for those observant people among you, you may have noticed, yes, I am using Photoshop and I am not very happy about that. For reasons because Adobe are sugar honey iced tea, especially right now. But right now, this is the program I am most used to using, so I am sticking with it for now until I train myself to use an alternative and get the muscle memory and all that kind of stuff in regards to where all the tools are, etc., in a different program. Because switching to a different program it's almost like learning how to walk again. It's horrible. So yes, I want to stick with this for now, so if a bunch of you want to chat with me while I figure out what exactly I'm going to do, or if you have ideas for me, let me know. So what I want to preface this with is, if the chat can keep things as safe for work as possible, I know that's a big ask, but I do prefer to keep things safe for work, so please avoid using profanities, and please don't type in all caps either, because that's just friggin' annoying. So yeah, anyway, look, H. McNair, I want you to draw Twilight Sparkle having a nightmare about imprisonment by Nightmare Moon. Are you open for that? I am open for commissions, and if you want me to draw something specific, you can find a link to my price list in the description below the stream. If it's not there, please let me know and I will post it in the chat window for you guys, because for some reason, like, trying to coordinate the stream setup with OBS, sometimes things get missed or I do it wrong or whatever, so yeah, it can be really frustrating. If you guys want me to draw something for you within the stream, I can do that, but it needs to be if you make a donation via the super chat, and these will be really quick doodles, not fully finished pieces. So if you want something that is like fully finished, then click the description, check the description for my price list, and then you can contact me on Twitter or Instagram to discuss the commission there, because obviously I can't take commission orders while I'm streaming. So if you can do that, that will be a big help. I hope that answered your question, Luke H. McNair. Hi Joey, how are you? So we're just gonna, oops, You know, it would help if I... Yeah, there we go. Right, I need to tell my Discord server that I am streaming. I forgot to do that. Sorry, guys. Spontaneous stream. Let's drop pony stuff. I don't know why that's the thumbnail, but yeah, that's the thumbnail says let's drop pony stuff, and it's probably, I'm gonna try not to do that. You messaged me on Instagram a few days ago. Okay, let me double check that, because my message thing on Instagram is not showing a message from you, so because I haven't had any new messages on Instagram other than from friends, so I don't know where that is. Okay. Was that TF2 video the first time Mary got mad or angry? It's the first time she got properly mad or angry in the TF2 Analysis Anarchy series, but it's not the first time Mary's ever been mad or angry ever, because she's been mad or angry since day one. So it's asking for commission, what won't you draw? Oh, okay, I didn't get that question on Instagram, my apologies, but my answer to that question is I try to keep things that I draw safe for work, so I try to avoid any like sexual content or anything that depicts drug use or alcohol abuse, etc, etc. Anything too violent. So I mean, I might do like subtle gore, like implied gore, but I'd rather avoid, basically, if you wouldn't show it to your nan then I wouldn't draw it. If you can't show it to your nan, then I'm not going to draw it. Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Was it your idea to give Twink the giant Maddie hat in that video you did with Blissey and Wolf? Yes, it was. The majority of the stuff that Maddie does in that video were my ideas. My favourite thing was when she was hiding under the Maddie hat, the giant Maddie hat. The line, I wanted her to say something, and it was Doc suggested that Doc would go over to lift the hat up and check if Maddie was okay, but instead I threw out the idea of, no, let's just have Maddie just look at Doc and she just says, I live here now. And they both loved the idea so much, so we had that in the video. A lot of these silly moments are like, they're just made up on the spot sometimes if we're just chatting about ideas, and then we'll add it to the script. This is that script, that video, the idea for that was done about 2 years ago, so these things take a while to make, so this is what happens. So I'm just gonna hide this asshole because this person just posts nothing but spam. There we go. Some people need to get a life. Alright. Hello there, Frost. How are you doing? Your commission, Blazing Bolt, yes, I have not started that yet because there are several commissions that are on order ahead of yours. And I will send you an update soon. I promise you that. Just the workload has been quite interesting, and I also opened up a new TeePublic store, so I've been running that, and I've also got a rather big project I'm working on for another YouTube channel, which I can't reveal that, but I appreciate your patience and understanding. I really do. These things do take time, so yeah, but I know that most of the people in here are fully aware of that fact. My turnover, like, in getting projects done is usually pretty good, but right now it's, yeah, I'm very behind on my own content, but that's nothing new. I'm always behind on my own personal workload, but commission stuff I tend to try to get it done in decent time. Doing well, just woke up 20 minutes ago or so. What are you drawing today? I don't know yet. If you want to throw ideas at me, you can donate in the super chat. Maybe we can do some drawing requests, but if you want a finished piece, you can click the description for my price list for commissions. I am open for commissions right now, and it would be highly appreciated. I'm actually doing pretty good money-wise right now, but it's we just need a little bit of help just to pay off some bills. You know, the usual real-life nonsense. But I am doing okay, so it's like no pressure on anybody to throw money. You know, like most of us are in the same boat in regards to money, especially in the current climate. For those that don't know, I immigrated from Scotland to the US in 2021. Gosh, was it really 2021 or was it 2022? I can't remember. I've been here a couple of years anyway. So we also finally were able to celebrate our marriage in April. So to be honest, whoever says the customer always matters needs a hobby. I think you mean the phrase the customer is always right. That's the phrase that's wrong, because, you know, it's always, the customer is always right is always used by people that are entitled and want to get their way and think because they're the ones with the money, they're the ones with the power. No, the ones that have the power are the ones that have the skill, not the money. Also trying to mentally prepare for another move next month. I know, but, Joey, I'm so sorry, but hopefully this will be the last time you will need to move for a while. I know you've moved several times, like, as someone that's moved 4 times in the last 4 years, I feel your pain, dude. But it's gonna be worth it. You'll be in a better place, like, literally and mentally, so it's gonna be worth it, so just hold on to that fact, bro. Isn't it the customer is always right in matters of fashion? Absolutely not. I don't think anybody is ever always right. I think that phrase is frankly bullshit. Sorry for swearing, but yes. Yes, I know I'm contradicting my own rule for not using profanities, but that particular phrase of saying, oh, the customer is always right. No. The customer is never right. Ever. So, yeah. So, as someone that works freelance, especially if you do like pet portraits like I do, you do get some people that they get power mad and think they can control every single thing you do, even if it's someone that doesn't know anything about the art process. But because they're emotionally attached to what you're drawing, they think that they can tell you, like, to change minor details, and like to the point that it's pedantic, that they're telling you they're basically like the equivalent of backseat driving, you know. But you can still make suggestions on stuff. I'm not against that whatsoever, like constructive criticism, etc. But there are people that will be so pedantic that you feel like, oh, I'll just hand the stylus or the pencil over to you and you can just do it yourself, you know. So there's a balance there. You have to listen to what the customer is saying, absolutely. But also the customer needs to remain understanding of what the rules and policies are, because a freelancer is a company. They are an individual, but they are a company and they have bills to pay. So, you know, they have to follow their own guidelines, their own rules, their own FAQ. They have to make sure that the customer understands what they're getting into, that these are bespoke items, so they will take time to get done. I have had customers like actually ask, can you get it done tomorrow? I'm like, no. Sorry, but no, there's not a make art button. You know, if you want something done by tomorrow, just use an AI generator, you know, like, come on. And you're gonna get crappy art. You know? My god. So, let's start drawing, shall we? So what I'm going to do is, I've been watching a lot of like, Asterix and Obelix stuff. Does anyone here know what Asterix and Obelix is? Oh, if you want to suggest drawings to me for the stream, yes, as the mod says, Frostbite, if you use the super chat, if you want to request a drawing, you can do so by throwing some money my way with the super chat thing. Maddie hugging a Godzilla plushie. Thank you, Frost. I did not see that donation. Where is my stylus? Hold that thought. Where is my stylus? I've been sitting at this computer for how long, and I've just realized my stylus is not where it usually is. What on earth? Oh, there it is. It's at my feet. Yeah. The struggles of an artist. Okay. So, no, please don't suggest Beaker Kick It again. I'm not kidding here. That drives me nuts. Please don't do it. Okay. Maddie. Well, you know what? Change the soothing thing. We're just taking notes here. That's better. Maddie. Oh my good lord. Can't write. Hugging. Godzilla. Pushy. Okay. So what I sometimes do is if I get super chat donation or for a drawing request, fair enough, no Beaker Kick It this time. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for being a good friend. Alright. So put the soothing back up to about 45 maybe. How's that? Maybe a little bit too strong. Bring that down a bit. That works. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I will do time challenges, and as fun as that was, it was kind of unfair to people that made like higher donations. You know, like they might request a drawing and I'll only spend a couple of minutes on it, whereas someone will donate like $2 and I'll spend 2 minutes on something, and then someone will throw $5 and I'll still only spend 2 minutes on it. So I'm like, how can I fix that to make it a bit more fair? Like, have it be $1 per minute or something, maybe? I don't know. But I think we'll do that in another stream. Let's just keep things simple for now. Super chat requests. Blazing Bolt, thank you for your donation. Pony Maddie, jumping on a trampoline. Okay. Pony Maddie. Well, let's bring that down. Pony Maddie jumping on a trampoline. Alright. So let's draw Maddie hugging the plush first. It's funny that, because I actually draw Mary more often than I draw Maddie, because Mary has... I just find her easier to draw, you know? It's bizarre that the second character... You know what? She needs to be on screen. Let's bring her in before we start anything else, because you can't have Maddie without Mary. You need her there. So, let's see, which one can we use? Mary. There is one of her pointing in a similar way that Maddie is, but I can't find it. I know, but she could be a pen. I have a pen. picture of Mary. It's kind of funny, but it's kind of distracting as well, so maybe find something else. Oh, there we go. She's pointing. This is an old drawing of Mary, but we'll make it work. So you're gonna see like a giant Mary appear for a second. Bring her down. Hello, there's Mary. Hey. Ah! Did I not lock that layer? Okay, there we go. Let's bring you up a bit. There. And then you can go underneath. Can I flip you? Nope. Oh, the reset transfer actually puts it back to... okay, that's a pain in the butt. Have I seen Kung Fu Panda 4? No, I haven't. I really want to support the theatrical releases, I really do, but cinema trips are freaking expensive. So, I mean, the last thing I saw at the cinema was Godzilla -1. And that was definitely worth the trip. Can I flip you? Oh, there you are. Flip horizontal. There we go. There. There. Let's put you right here. Maybe it's kind of distracting as well because she's got a lot of warm colours in her palette. So that's a bit of a problem, but it's fine. Have you heard of The Glory That Is Jack Black covering Britney Spears? We actually had that song playing at our wedding reception. It was one of the last songs. We were like, we had a bit of a metal. we almost had a mosh pit going at one point. It was great, much to the horror of the boomers, and most of them were requesting ABBA, and I told the DJ no ABBA unless it's a cover. It's not that I don't like it, I just find that it's overplayed, you know, so I'm like, please don't play that, and please definitely don't play any Mariah Carey or whatever. Like, I'm a metal girl. I like my metal music, I like my rock music, classic rock, heavy metal, you know, all that kind of stuff. I mean, we even had one person request a Sabaton song. Sadly, the DJ didn't play it, but, you know, it was on the list. Okay, so we need... Let's see if I can get this to look right. This is what I mean by quick doodles. Oh hey, this smoothing needs to be up to about 40%. Okay. So this is Maddie's head, and this will be Godzilla's head. Cosmina and Spyra, hello Miss Munchkin, hope your day is great, congratulations on your recent wedding. Thank you! We actually wanted to get married in 2020, but, you know, the thing that we can't be said happened, so we had to postpone, and we postponed our wedding 3 times because of the COVID thing lasting. Oh damn it, I said it. Never mind. Oh well, screw it. The COVID thing is lasting a lot longer than anyone anticipated. And the thing is, like, in America, the lockdown was nowhere near as strict as it was in other countries. But because the UK is an island nation, it was a lot more strict. So, you know, you couldn't go out anywhere at all. Everywhere was closed. Everything. And I mean everything. So, you know, people were like, oh, we couldn't go to a restaurant because it closed early. And I'm like, oh, boo-hoo for you. They weren't even open for us at all. Like, even takeout places weren't open. Nothing was open. Supermarkets were open, but only one person from each household could go in. So, that was a nightmare. And then we had, sadly, we had bereavements in our family, so we had to adjust for that too. That was hard. But, you know, it's life. Life sucks. So, we're just... Here's the Godzilla plush. I'm gonna make him like a teddy, so you can still recognize it as Godzilla, but so there's one hand and then there's Maddie's hand. There we go. And then make this smaller too. Yeah, we went through a lot the last few years with getting my green card and all that kind of stuff for immigrating. That alone was... they were like, oh, it should take about 6 months. Yeah, no, it took 2 years. And I couldn't work without my green card. I couldn't work, I couldn't, you know, do much of anything. So, yeah, it was a nightmare. Really keeping things really loose right now, so things won't look like anything. This is what you do. You just keep things simple, fast, quick. And because I've drawn Mary so often, I've given her a bit of a Mary Sue shape, which I will fix. Okay, so let's transform this. So the reason why you flip things is to check that the drawing is balanced. If you're doing it traditionally, you can hold the drawing up to a mirror. Yes, it can. It kind of sucked for me too recently, but I'm glad you're doing okay now. Doing a lot better, yes. I'm glad that I'm streaming again, because I haven't really been able to put out my own content for several months, and I feel really bad about that. And it means that my revenue, my income is affected, but it's like other things are taking priority. So, you know, I just want to make sure that all of my energy is being put into this particular project, and because it's a project that means a lot to me for the people that I'm doing it for, and I just want to make sure that I don't get distracted with anything else. Okay, you're not drawing Mary, you're drawing Maddie, so there we go. Make it squish. Okay. So if anyone's got any questions for me, let me know, and I will do my best to answer them. If you've got questions about commissions, I can answer them here too. Because Maddie has a very... her body type, it's similar to like a dwarf or a halfling. And it's difficult to get the proportions right without making her look like a child. That is very easy to do with someone that is a short character. So we try not to do that. But now because she's holding a plush, it's just going to look like a child. But that's just how it works. One, two, three, four. Are we still streaming? Because the chat's either frozen or no one's talking. One of the two. I'm just replying to a Twitter message because I'm getting a commission order. Woohoo! Yeah, so as it says in the stream, if I am open for commissions, and if you're interested in placing an order, you can use the link in the description below that takes you to the price list. And if you contact me on Twitter or Instagram, is there a price list that can be seen without a Twitter account? I don't think you need a Twitter account to see the price list, although it is on Twitter. Let me do this. Let me get you the Google Drive link. Let's do that. Un momento, por favor. If it takes you to the logging screen, that it shouldn't do that. You should be able to at least view the price list, but that's a good point that to actually ask for a commission right now, I'm only taking them through Twitter and Instagram, and I think the link in the description takes you to the Twitter one and not the Instagram one. So, yeah, but that's a good point. I need to have a link that takes it to somewhere other than Twitter or Instagram, so you can at least view it outside of social media, because not everyone uses social media. My husband doesn't use social media, so I mean, he uses things like Discord and stuff, but he doesn't use Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. He just rather avoid all the drama. So yeah, which is a good choice. So I'm going to post the link in the chat window for you guys. I don't know if there's a way for me to how do I update the description while I'm streaming? Can I not do that anymore? Because YouTube changed their layout, so that's dumb. I wouldn't really consider Bullet for my Valentine heavy metal. I mean, it is a heavy metal, but I'm also of the opinion I've listened to heavier metal that's kind of light in my experience, but you know, that's just my opinion. I know they're I listen to a lot of Finnish metal and Swedish metal and British metal. I mean, it's more closer to punk than anything else, and I'm not saying that that's bad. It's just I just don't think that it's heavy enough to be considered heavy metal. So it's just me. Hey Voice, how you doing, buddy? Oh, I just remembered, we actually have a premiere call later. Ah, okay. That's kind of I forgot about that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Glad to hear it. Transform. Okay, so slowly building this up. This is why these things take so long to do, you know? Especially if you're talking to people at the same time. We're gonna make him a grumpy boy. Because Godzilla's a grumpy boy. We're just gonna give him like a baby pout. I feel like his eyes should be bigger. There we go. That's better. He's an angry boy. He's a grumpy boy. There we go. That's better. Don't know what this thing is doing. Ah! Wrong tool. Okay. It's fine. Disaster averted. Don't worry. Nobody saw that. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing. Nothing happened. That looks like Godzilla, right? That hand's a bit too big. Bring it back a little bit. There we go. New one or old one? New one or old one? What do you mean new one or old one? Do you know how many versions of Godzilla there are? The newest one is the one in -1. Or, well, technically it's not. It would be... I don't know if the most recent American Godzilla movie changed anything about that version of Godzilla. I don't think they did. I am by no means a Godzilla expert. That would be my husband. I would say that this one is probably going to just be based on the 2015 Godzilla. I mean the 2024 one that has the pink skin, or the true classic one. That depends what you mean by the true classic one. Some people consider the true classic one to be the OG, the original one from the 1954 movie, or like some people consider the one of the ones after that, or some people consider the classic one to be their favorite one. Yeah, the OG. Yeah, this is probably going to be the OG, as close to it as possible. But it's mainly just going to be my version and make him look as Godzilla-ish as possible. Sorry to be pedantic there, but yeah, there are dozens of different versions of Godzilla, so yeah. And no, I don't consider the 1997 one Godzilla. That's not Godzilla. That is Zilla. That is something else entirely. Although that was my first introduction to Godzilla, I know that that's not really Godzilla. My favorite version of Godzilla is Shinzilla. That one is so twisted. I'm like, oh wow, I like this one. So we don't talk about the Roland Emmerich version. It's a cool design. It's just not Godzilla. So we're having his tail. There we go. Rainbow Dash, I've got a question. Do you respect anyone who loves G5 new generation? I am now a full 5G defender now, but I do respect all generations though, so just curious, that's all. I think the whole conflict or argument between people that are fans of G4 and G5 is really stupid. I'm like, can you not like both? I mean, and if you do only like one, if you only like G4, or if you only like G5, that's fine. Why start a fight over it? It's a load of nonsense. I've made several videos about G4 and G5. I like both generations, but there are elements of G5 that I really don't like. That doesn't mean that I don't respect people that do like G5, that just means that I am voicing my opinions on why I don't. I'm not attacking anybody that likes G5. They might take it as an attack, but that is not my intention. So, you know, I just find that the whole thing about, oh, we have to defend G5 against the G4 purists. I'm like, come on, get off your high horse and just, it's like, oh look, we got more ponies, yay! It's like, come on, the franchise is in dire straits right now, let's just be glad it's still going. Like, come on, like, the whole thing, did friendship is magic not teach you anything? Like, my god. And I'm saying that, like, you in the general sense, not you in particular, just everybody, that, you know, like, if you're a G5 defender, that's great. You do respect all generations though, so just curious. Yeah, of course. You can still defend a generation, but still be respectful about it. But I just don't like how people get so defensive. Oh, I like this, therefore I must protect it. I'm like, why? It's... Ugh, I don't know. It's so weird to me. Like, some people have taken my videos and used it. It's like, look, this is why G5 sucks. Look, this is what Maddie said about it. I'm like, okay, but did I say anything in there to disrespect people that like the generation? I don't think I did, but whatever. Okay. Or a honeydew. Thank you for your donation of $15. Monster, I don't know what that is. I should have said this at the beginning. Oh, if it's something that I'm not familiar with, that would need to be a commission. Because I do not know what Monster Mizumi's set. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. You don't have to make another donation, but if you can tell me in the general chat a different idea, I'd appreciate that. I'm sorry. If I don't know what it is, then it's going to take me time to research it, and that's going to be a pain in the butt. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Frost knows what it is. Frost, can you get some reference for me then? Send it to me on Discord, obviously. Thank you. You're awesome. I appreciate you. Oh, that's not how elbows work. Okay. There we go. So if you notice, Godzilla's arm is over the top of Maddie's arm. I have to keep reminding myself this is a super chat doodle, but I like Godzilla so much, I'm like, I want to draw him properly. That works. And then have her other hand come in here. Oh, wait, actually, there we go. Oh, yeah, no. I'm sorry. Can you request something else that is really complex? And these super chat doodles are meant to be simple. So, I know Discord isn't muted. That's fine. I know you guys will hear the Discord beep, but that's just how things are right now. Aura Honeydew, my apologies, but do you mind requesting something else? I am not familiar with. Just assume I've never watched any anime in my life. I have, but you know, just assume I haven't for the sake of a super chat doodle. If you want something of that, if you want, I would appreciate it if that was actually a full commission, not a super chat doodle. Sorry. All right. Let's see. Let's get this. Maddie's got some muscle on her in this drawing. What about Warhammer 40k Space Marine? Again, that 40k Space Marine version of Maddie or Mary Sue. Kind of too complicated for a super chat as well. I'm sorry. So like for instance, like the other super chat, it's like Maddie hugging Godzilla plush, Maddie jumping on a trampoline, like simple ideas like that. If it's something more complicated like this, I prefer if it was a commission. Okay, I'm going to correct you there, Rainbow Dash, just out of respect for a friend of mine. Mastercode is not a toxic 4G fan, and I'd appreciate it if you apologise for that, because he is definitely one of the least toxic people I know. So, yeah, please don't do that. He's also a defender of G5, so yeah, he and his subscribers have huge hatred for G5s. Let's not... like there's a difference between a defender and someone that's going to analyze something from a neutral standpoint. So, I mean, like they'll say jokes and things like that, and yet, like I said earlier, people might take offense at some of the stuff he says, and you know, or disagree with what he says. That's fine. That's not the same as being toxic, though. Like, and he has no control over how his subscribers behave. So I personally don't find that a fair statement. So I'd appreciate it if we could move on from the G4, D5, G5 argument thing. I just, ugh, why? Can you not like both? Like, come on. I'm sorry, it's just stupid. Deadpool fan, are you streaming today? Because I asked you about it on Twitter yesterday. Maybe. But it was also because my plans for this weekend kind of fell through. We have a family dinner tomorrow, and I said, oh, I'll bring a dessert. So I was gonna make a cheesecake, and I made one yesterday, and it was a disaster. The thing crystallized. So I don't know what I did, but it didn't work out. So yeah, that was a disaster. So I've said, hey, I'm just gonna make some cookies instead. So yeah, we're gonna make some sugar cookies later after the stream, before the TF2 AA premiere for a tight budget part 2, which I'm really excited for people to see. I can't remember if I'm in that or not. I know that Maddie and Mary were in part 1. I cannot remember if they're in part 2. I think they appear, but I don't think I have lines. So, yeah, but it's still fun. I try to join the premiere calls for that, because whenever there's a premiere, we try to get people together. And they can be fun in themselves, because we also post the commentaries for these things as well. So, yeah, but because I didn't really have anything to do with this two-parter, other than in part one, I didn't actually need to fix much of how Finn wrote Mary. He was pretty spot on with how to write her, which is awesome. Because funnily enough, Mary Sue is not a stereotype. She is a parody of a stereotype, and he completely understood that. And his writing is incredible, and he got her spot on. I just had to change a few lines here and there, like just some of the wording wasn't quite right. So yeah. I haven't seen your channel in a while. Remember when I was watching back around 2020? Well, glad to have you back again. I'm cooking on the grill now, but it can end badly for us too, because there's a storm on its way and we don't know when it's supposed to hit us. For all I know, could be grilling in a downpour. Hey, I grew up in Scotland. We never could cook outside, like barbecues and stuff, because it would rain every day. But that didn't actually stop us anyway. We would like have an umbrella above a barbecue if we were that determined, because Scottish people are stubborn as all hell. So yeah, so let's add her hat here, because yes, Maddie always wears her hat, always. Well, that's a bit too round a bit. It's fine, it's a doodle, doesn't have to be perfect. Well, I was born in Dundee, which is more central Scotland, but I grew up in the northeast coast, near Inverness, where Loch Ness is. And I was there in April as well, because I was there for 6 weeks. I was home for 6 weeks in April because we were getting married, at long last. And we had friends from America there as well. We had, who did we have? We had Silver Quill, we had Fiery Joker, and okay, so Rainbow Dash, when did I say I didn't support G5? You know what, I will leave you alone. I guess we wish G5 has positively more respect, but we know you're one of the wasted potential reviewers and critics who doesn't support G5. Have you seen how many videos I've made of G5? If I didn't support the new generation, I wouldn't waste my time making videos on it. My god. Whatever, dude. Just here to cause trouble, whatever. I draw, and I make money doing it. I'm happy. So, whatever. Okay, fine, go then! Jesus. Alright. Anyway, cheese, I like it. Brie. Brie's awesome. Melted cheese on, like, a grilled sandwich is, like, heaven. It's great. Or cheesecake, which I, like, tried to make yesterday. Oh, just someone being an asshole, Joey. It's fine. And I don't care about seeing it on a live stream either. It's fine. I asked someone not to call Master Code a toxic G4 fan, and they took offense to that, so I'm like, hey, I'm standing up for a friend. Which is frankly more important than standing up for a friggin' TV show! My god. Alright. You talked about cookies, so how about this? Would Nightmare Moon and Opaline Arcana... I'm living up to my name today. There's a reason why Mad is in my name. You talked about cookies, so how about this? Would Nightmare Moon and Opaline Arcana fighting over the last cookie be an acceptable idea for one of these? Nightmare Moon and Opaline fighting over a cookie? I love that idea. We could do that. Oh my god. I'm just gonna hide that use on my channel. I have no time for assholes today. Like, my god. I'm a wasted critic. Yeah, I have almost like 85k subs. I don't think that's wasted anything. What? Okay, whatever. And I get paid for it, so pff, whatever. Alright. So we're just gonna use her hair to... No, Maddie's hair doesn't flip toward... Let's do this then. There we go. Sorry for that little outburst there, guys. I don't like getting that way, especially in a live stream, but you know what? They were digging a hole and I was throwing them in it. I think they were expecting me to agree with their points, and I'm like, hey, just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean that I hate your idea, you know, or you as a person. You can disagree with someone without being an asshole about it, okay? And they were being an asshole because they called a friend of mine toxic. I'm like, no, they are one of the least toxic people I know. There are very few people in my friend circle that make me proper belly laugh, and Mastercode is one of them. So, yeah, just leave the guy alone. Come on. Okay. So, Knight's Claw, $20. Cookies. Was that the one for... Yeah, that's the one for Opaline and Luna fighting over... No, Nightmare Moon, sorry. Okay. Let's hide you for now. Okay. Nightmare Moon and... Opaline. You know what? I can't read my own writing. Let's start that again. Because I forgot to decrease the smoothing. Nightmare Moon and Opaline fight over Cookie. Okay. Which Godzilla movie is my favorite? Well, it was Shin Godzilla, but then I saw Godzilla -1. So that's probably my new favorite Godzilla movie. I'm still reeling about what just happened, so I need to just take a moment and calm down a little bit. Maddie wearing Samus helmet for Metroid Prime 4. I am a fan of Samus, so that would be pretty easy to do. So that's the thing, if I'm a fan of something and I'm familiar with it already, and I think I can get it done in a relatively quick time, then I'll do it. And it's Maddie, so I'm like, okay, that's a character I draw all the time, so... Maddie... wearing... this... I think I've actually drawn her wearing the Samus outfit before. So... And we're almost done with this Godzilla doodle. Prime 4 this week. I know, right? Oh, Pomni hypnotized by Discord. Huh. That could be a thing I could do. I could do that. There we go. That's better. No, it's not. I mean, we don't have to draw the other side of her hair. We could just keep it like that. There we go. She's hugging Godzilla. I really should have handled that better when that guy pissed me off. I should have handled that better. What do you guys think? Wherever. I'm going to play devil's advocate and say I think Godzilla 98 is not a bad movie. It had a lot of Simpsons voice actors in it. It had one Simpsons voice actor in it, but okay. I like the newer ones that take... Wait, no, you're right. Yeah, no, there was several more. I'm dumb. I've only watched that movie twice. My mistake. Yes, lots of. Yeah, there was more than one. I'm dumb. I like the newer ones that take place in the same continuity as Kong. Yeah. I'm more familiar with the Japanese films than I am with the American ones. That's just... Yeah, it's just how it worked. So, Maddie and Godzilla. Maddie and... Godzilla. There. I mean, the thing about G5, I said it was like, it's wasted potential. I didn't say that it was a waste of time. I said it was wasted potential. And somehow that person, because they've commented on my Twitter stuff before, and sent me PMs and stuff, saying, oh, I don't think it's a waste of time. I'm like, I didn't say that. I didn't say it was a waste of time. I said it was wasted potential. That's not the same thing. Don't know if he was going to listen. He repeated that he was going to some other guy's channel like 5 times. I don't give a flying rat's arse what he does with his free time. He can go and watch other channels if he wants. I'm like, okay, fine. Just go do that. Don't tell someone you're going to do it 5 times. Just go do it. Like, you don't have to, like, make an announcement of where you're going to go. It's like, I'm going to make a dramatic exit now. I'm like, okay, good for you, buddy. I'm going to continue drawing for money. Just gonna flex that for a minute, because that guy probably still lives in his mother's basement. So, okay, so for clarification, I didn't move out of my parents' house until I was in my mid-30s, so I'm like, okay. It's not a bad thing to still live with your parents when you're older, but it is if, you know, you refuse to make any effort to move out, you know? So, if you're just gonna live like a leech forever. So, I just want to clarify that. If you still live at home, fine. You know, you're not a bad person if you're trying to make steps to move out. And I know that the current climate makes that very difficult. Job hunting is next to impossible right now. I understand that. But I just don't like it when people just don't even bother trying. That's what pisses me off. I don't like lazy people. And I definitely don't like people that put all of their effort and energy into something that makes them angry. And, you know, I'm guilty of that. I've learned for a while that it's just better not to waste your energy on stuff like that. Okay, I am going to change the subject because I could have worded that a lot better. Alright. Because I used that as an insult and I really shouldn't have. So, my apologies. My biggest apologies for that. That is what I was trying to avoid doing, and I just, yeah. Okay. Hey, I'm human. I'm going to screw up, you know? At least I take accountability for my screw-ups. Try to. Oh, the new Hell of a Boss episode is out? Oh, okay, great. I really don't care. Alright. Sorry. That show was good for like 3 episodes. And then it just went downhill. It's just become a soap opera and I'm like, I don't want that. How's Kick? He's okay. He's sleeping right now. Nothing better than a bit of drama in the pony fandom to eat dinner to. Great doodle. It's not pony fandom drama. It's just drama. Some people put their entire identity into what they're a fan of, and aren't, that's their entire personality. And I get being like hyper fixated on something, I get that, but I don't like it when people have that as their entire persona, and that's what the only thing that they ever talk about. And if you dare to talk about something else, they get really angry at you. And I feel like that's what that person was. So I don't think they were even trolling. I think they were genuinely angry that I didn't say what they wanted me to say. They wanted me to say crappy things about G5, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to fall for your bullshit. I'm not going to do it. No. Because I know I didn't want them to have all the control of the conversation. No. There shouldn't be a rivalry between G4 and G5 fans of MLP. I'm like, did friendship is magic not teach you anything? Like, come on. Anyway, let's stop circling back to that asshole. Let's focus on this. Watch Digital Circus. I did, and I don't get the hype. I like the show, but I'm like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's amazing, it's about existential crisis, and I'm like, yeah, there are hundreds of shows out there that do that particular topic 100 times better. I'm like, it is up my street in regards to that topic, and it's like really surrealistic and that, and I get that. I don't like the animation. I do not like the visual style of the show at all. I just wish that if it's going for that existential crisis and this realistic tone, I feel like the visuals fight that very theme, you know? So I don't know what I would prefer it to be, but that is my biggest issue with it. I just find the visuals very jarring. So that's just my opinion on it. So I know it's ridiculously popular, and that's awesome, but I'm like, okay, there are other things out there that have handled this, that kind of stuff a lot better, but it's not as easy to market. Okay, I get that way. I have a finite amount of things I draw because I like what I draw. It's just when I deviate from it, people don't care about it as much. I mean, I've been told I'm a great artist with portraits, but no one really cares when I do, unless I share it. You know, you don't have to share everything you draw. You can just draw for yourself. You can just have a sketchbook and just doodle in there and not share it. You don't have to present everything you create to the echo chamber that is the internet, you know? You don't have to do that every time. I don't. I draw some really weird ass crap, guys. I'm trying to avoid swearing. I'm like, I don't swear. Why am I swearing today? Like, why? I guess that made me more angry than I thought. Can't wait to watch the new TF2 analysis part 2. A tight budget part 2 is released later today at oh, Joey, help me out here. Is it 5 PM EST or 6 EST? I can't remember. It's usually 6, but it might be changed because of Finn's schedule. You know what? I could just check the chat myself. Oh, Joey's checking it for me. Thank you, Joey. I love you. You're awesome. I appreciate you. Platonically. 5 PM EST. Alright, thanks, love. Okay. Okay. We are living up to the mad in Mad Munchkin today. Wow. What weird things do you draw? Oh, dude. I once drew Chucky the rat from Chuck E. Cheese as a Chucky doll with kids' heads on a pizza. Wow. Yeah, I don't want to describe the things that I draw for myself because it is for myself. So if you don't mind, I'm not going to tell you. But let's just call it vent art. Let's just call it that and leave it at that. Did you ever participate in Art Fight? No. I don't really participate in any of these art challenges and art fads. I just draw stuff for me that feels right for me in the moment. So, yeah, that's... It means I'm kind of outside of the social circle a little bit, in regards to what's current, and that kind of works against me a lot, but that's kind of where I prefer to be, because I feel like, for me, personally, I don't like doing these, like say, May, for instance. Like, May is the month that you draw mermaids every day, and I'm like, why? You can just draw mermaids anytime. Why does it have to be that particular month? I'm like, why? I don't see the point. I feel like you're just jumping aboard a bandwagon, and I don't like being on those, because I feel like I can't jump off and do my own thing. You know? It's annoying. Anyway, let's see what's next on the list. Pony Maddie jumping on a trampoline. Okay, we'll keep this nice and simple. Wee, boing. So here's a trampoline. That's not a trampoline. That's not a trampoline either. Okay. Here we go. This is a trampoline. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you draw this thing, the metal thing that connects them all together. And then you do the stand thing. Dude, we did not order a giant trampoline. Dude, you could have told me that before I set it up. Hey Maddie, just want to say thanks for the advice on Story Nova. It really helped a lot. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm practicing drawing cartoons and cards at the moment. I usually draw gargoyles or superheroes. Gargoyles are fun to draw. So are superheroes. Never joined Art Fight. It's interesting. It looks fun, but I don't do it. I used to do like art trades with other artists, but it got to the point where I felt it was very one-sided, and the other person wasn't making the same effort as I was. So I didn't feel that it was mutually beneficial, which is what art trades should be. So I just don't do them anymore unless it's for someone I know very well and I know that they will like do their bit. I finished a new comic last night. How do you like get these out so fast? Like, how? Like, if it makes you laugh, then that's a step in the right direction, because if there's one rule that I have, you have to enjoy what you draw. Even if you suck at it, if you enjoy it, that's awesome. Because there's nothing worse than drawing something that makes you miserable, because like I still do them now and then, but because I need the money. Pet portraits. I do not like doing pet portraits at all, but they bring in the money, so I'm like, okay, fine, I'll keep doing them, but it's just the same kind of thing over and over. It's the happy dog, okay, happy cat, okay. Well, the most recent pet portrait I had was for a tarantula. That was fun. That was great. I like that. So I'm just gonna draw Maddie. Maddie, pony Maddie. Well, that's a bit, her belly's not as big as that, but there we go. It's just a doodle, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It's fine. And we can always, she looks like a duck right now. It's just a really quick doodle. We are going to make it a bit more readable, so don't worry. It's fine. You wouldn't call it fast. Well, it's faster than me, so therefore it's fast. Do you know how slow I work? My god. Okay. There. Alright. So just to reiterate for people, I am open for commissions right now. You can find my price list in the description below. It does take you to Twitter, which is where I do prefer to take my orders from. If you want a link to the price list that doesn't require having a Twitter account, you can follow this link right here. Well, that's not going to work, is it? No, that's the wrong thing. There we go. If you have any questions for me, let me know. Best way to contact me for a commission is, like I said, on Twitter or Instagram. Links to that can be found in the description below. I also recently opened a TeePublic store. I should share that. I had sold my first t-shirt this a few days ago, so that's pretty awesome. If people are interested in seeing that. View my store. Yes, view my store. Cool. Yes, very cool. And then there's all kinds of stuff on there. There's Maddie and Mary stuff on there. There's Golden Girl stuff. There's My Little Pony stuff. There's Hercules stuff. There's Jessica Rabbit. There's Luna from Hell of a Boss on there twice for some reason. Rocky Horror stuff. I'm going to be adding more stuff on there. So there you go. There's a link to that as well. And if you want to request a doodle in the stream, you can use the super chat. If you want to do that, that's great. That will help me out quite a lot, actually. I'm gonna just circle back to talking about G4 and G5 for a moment, because it's like, I get it. I get why people have a problem with G5. I get it. I made so many videos on that particular topic. And it's also like, people miss G4, but I'm like, well, G4's not gone anywhere. You can still watch it. Like people, oh, I miss G4. And I'm like, well, go and watch it then. It's right there. You can watch it. Like, it's not like G5 erased G4's existence. Like, I don't know if it's because, like, my first fandom was Star Trek, so I was so used to new generations coming along. The main difference there is that each generation, other than the original, were interconnected with every generation that came after. So I was, you're very used to comparing those because they're linked together story-wise. And yes, there are people that will say, oh, the original's so much better than Next Gen, but they're not able to say exactly what is better, And I'm like, oh, Kirk is better than Picard. And I'm like, well, I don't agree with that. I don't think one is better than the other because they're so vastly different. Like, one fights with their fists, one fights with their words. Like, one's a Shakespearean actor, the other one's an American actor. And it's not like one is better than the other. They're just very different. They're both from different cultures, for one thing. Patrick Stewart is a Shakespearean actor, so Picard is played as a Shakespearean character. So it's going to have a different tone. That's an inevitability, just like with like Sisko in Deep Space Nine. Is probably my least favorite captain. But I wouldn't say that, he's the worst, he's just my least favorite. Because I don't agree with saying that my favorite is the best. That I don't think that way. Because it's like, what's the word? Biased? or incorrect to say that this is the best captain because. I'm like, no. Say this is my favorite captain because you're bringing your opinion to the forefront. Your opinion is not fact, is what I'm trying to say. My opinion's not fact. So I just feel that there needs to be a structure there. It needs to be like the wording needs to change a little bit so it's more personal. It's just that that's why I stopped doing top 10 lists. My favourite captain is Janeway. That's my favourite captain because she was... After Picard and Kirk, I felt more of a personal connection with her, and that is not because she's a woman. It's because the story was about getting a crew back home, and she took on this crew that she barely knew, and slowly they became like a family, and she was the mother hen looking after everybody, but she was also Mother Bear. She didn't take any crap from anybody, even her own crew as well. So, but there was also a softness there, which yes, that is to do with the fact that she was a woman, and that is something that the other captains did lack, but they still had, like, they were still able to relate to their crew on a, well, for want of a better term, human basis. You know? Like, they're still people. And to me, Janeway, because she was a science officer, unlike the other captains that were secure, I think Cisco was science actually. The other captains were security, if memory serves me right, and then became captains, other than Kirk, who just basically sat in the captain's chair and said, "I am captain now," and that's it. Like, that's the Gary Stew for you. But yeah, she was my favourite captain, still is. And yes, I am really excited about season 2 of Prodigy finally coming to Netflix. I am so excited for that. Rawr. Oof. Anyway, let's get back to this stuff. There's still art and stories being made for G4, so it can't be dead yet. I now find myself wanting to watch Star Trek again now, which show to watch, and now I'm thinking of a Bonafide Voyager. My captain would be Picard because he voiced the Enterprise in the video game. Picard is probably my favourite actor to play a captain in Star Trek. Purely because I'm a fan of other stuff that Patrick Stewart has done. For Janeway, I don't really watch much stuff that Kate Mulgrew has done in other things, other than her voiceover work, like for Dragon Age and all that kind of stuff. Like, her voiceover work is phenomenal, but when I watch something else with her in it, all I can see is Janeway, because she's a great actress, don't get me wrong, but my brain is so emotionally connected to Janeway, that's all I see. So I just can't watch her in anything else. But with Patrick Stewart, I can, because although I loved Next Gen, and Picard is an awesome captain, I don't have the same emotional connection. I have an emotional connection to the actor, not the character, so I'm able to watch other things with Picard in it, with Patrick Stewart in it, and not see Picard. I can't do that with Kate Mulgrew. My music has stopped. Why has my music stopped? Why did you stop? What? You kind of killed the vibe here, music. Why have you stopped? Let's try this. Nope, that's only got 3 songs in it. Oh man. What about dark metal? Instrumental play. That other playlist had like 1,000 songs in it. It did not get through 1,000 songs, so I don't know why it stopped, but okay, whatever. That's better. I know I'm talking a load of bullcrap right now, but it's... You're just talking. And frankly, I don't get to do much of that these days, so... Yeah. So, do this, then do that. And there's a back leg. I'll just draw the other back leg doing the same thing, just pointing in the other direction. It's funny because it's going to be hidden by her tail. There's one thing about Maddie, her tail and mane are insane. You have sandwich? Sandwich. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. And I need to make cookies later, so I need to watch my time. Metal Ice Morningstar. Hello everyone. Hello to you. First cookies and now sandwich. Cookie sandwich. Cookie sandwich. Like, one thing about Maddie's mane and hair is it's always a mess. The messier the better. Sorry I had to step away for a moment. Did I miss anything interesting? Yes, you missed me saving the world from disaster. No, you haven't missed anything. It's fine. Things have been kind of boring around here. It's just me talking about nonsense, as always. Oh wait, I drew that the wrong way. Okay. Best idea ever. Take a scoop of ice cream, put it between two freshly toasted waffles, taste magic. Yes, that's an amazing idea. I like that idea. Am I involved in that idea at all? Does it involve me consuming said toasted waffles with ice cream? Because if I'm not involved, I'm gonna have words. That was implied. Okay. Yes, that was implied. Where'd the trampoline go? There's the trampoline. Okay. Trampoline. Boing. Well, that's not how you spell boing. 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 There we go. I was like, wait, how do I draw action stuff now? I don't know, I can't remember. How do I draw anything? I don't know. The trampoline is tiny compared to her, so we're just gonna, like, correct that size difference. It's like giant Maddie jumping on a tiny trampoline. Let's make her smaller. Boing! Yay! That's funny. Boing! Her head's huge as well, but okay, let's just make her head smaller. Just for peace of mind. There we go. Perfect! Alright, Maddie jumping on a trampoline. Boing! That makes me smile. What is the safest method to deal with clients? Email or social media? I prefer social media because emails can get lost in the ether. You can say that the same about messages on social media. But at least with social media, you're able to track them better than you can with an email, in my experience. You're more likely to get spam messages in email than you are at social media. I mean, yeah, Twitter is the worst for spam right now, but at least you have the option of, like, well, you have the same option with email as well. You don't have to respond to everything you get, but, like, when you have to go back over messages, I find it so much easier using instant messaging like social media rather than an email thread. I just find email threads just really a pain in the butt. So for personal preference, rather that's for me. But the safest method, I think there's risks to both email or social media. So I don't know if there's a right answer to that question. What's the safest method? Depends what you mean by safe. Because, like, safe as in avoiding spam or avoiding toxic customers, or, like, I don't know, because you'd get risks in both. Yeah. Peanut butter mixed with bananas and cookies? I don't like peanut butter. I think peanut butter is gross. I don't like it. I avoid it. So, next super chat. Nightmare Moon and Opaline fighting over a cookie. Yeah, okay. You can do that. Let's call this one trampoline. Trampoline. So for people that have just joined, if you want to request a drawing, you can do so in the super chat. Keep things simple. You can do things with the Maddie character or Mary Sue character or a character from something like a mainstream show. You can do that. But if I don't know what it is, then I will request you to ask for something else. When I ask you to do something else, that doesn't mean you have to donate again. That just means you have to change your idea. Just to clarify. And don't worry if you can't make a donation, that's perfectly fine. No pressure on anybody whatsoever to do that. If you do want something that's more polished than just a quick doodle like what we're doing today, you can do that by ordering a commission. You can find a link to my price list in the description below. That does take you to Twitter, unfortunately, but I do have a link I can share in the general chat if people need it. What do you have against peanut butter? A lot. I just think it's gross. I have nothing against people that like peanut butter. My husband loves peanut butter. I just don't like it myself, so I avoid it. True, thank you. I've been thinking to start commissions for a while. Art commissions for a while. Ah. I've been doing art commissions. Wow, I've been doing art commissions since 2015, I think. I've been in them for a while anyway. Digital commissions, I've done the traditional before that. I started doing that several years before that when I was doing contemporary fine art, but when I got into digital, it just exploded, so I'm like, okay, well, let's just stick with digital for now then. Okay, so we don't need that anymore. Get rid of that. We don't need that anymore either. Extension, don't need that. Nightmare Moon and Opaline fighting over cookie. Alright, we can do that. Sometimes the super chat doodles end up being like finished pieces. Sometimes, but I don't finish them in a stream. Because sometimes I'll like the idea enough, I'll just want to finish it. But these are just like really quick doodles just for fun. So I feel like they would be fighting, but using their magic to fight. What are the limits for the streaming duels? Are OCs allowed? I prefer no OCs allowed. If you want an OC, that would be a commission. Unless their OC is owned by me. And if it's an OC owned by someone else, you need their permission. Because if I was to do an OC for a super chat doodle, that wouldn't be fair on people that have like paid more for something like that. So I can't really do that in a super chat. Okay, so we have Nightmare Moon. Then Opaline. Can I just say, I really dislike Opaline's hair. And that's probably more because it's just so damn difficult to draw, to get to look, right? It drives me nuts. Like just the way that there's like pleats going in front of her ear, but then she has a middle parting for the main part of her hair. So it's like, were they going for some kind of Nordic Vikings hairstyle, but failed miserably? I don't get it. I just, ugh. Did you finish the Godzilla piece? I had to step out for a bit. We got the Godzilla piece done. Yes, we did. So there she goes, hugging the Godzilla plush. It's not really a plush. It's more like a baby Godzilla. But I tried. Okay, so there's Nightmare Moon, then Opaline, and Opaline. So if I bring up like a piece I did of Opaline for my TeePublic store, that was such an annoying thing to do. I think I drew her hair like several times and I'm still not happy with it. It is a difficult design, which is it's so frustrating. Like her hair looks like toothpaste, first of all, but just the thing with the ear, the hair going in front of the ear, I'm like, why? It like if it's going for like pleats, don't work that way. They wouldn't go in front of the ear like that. They would go in front, like down the front, but they wouldn't go around. You know what I mean? They wouldn't go like around so close to the ear. Like it would go like above, behind the ear. You know, not in front of it. It's just weird. Am I crazy? And yes, that is Opalina's mother Gotho from Tangled. Something I appreciate as an adult about Godzilla, Reptar and the Rugrats, is that they indirectly introduced Japanese media to millennials. Reptar acted as both Barney and Godzilla. I didn't know. That's a good point. That is a very good point. That Reptar is basically a millennial's introduction to Godzilla. Yeah. I agree with that statement. So we're just gonna have... It would be a bit boring if they were both doing the same pose, so I'm just gonna see if I can get Opaline to be a bit more dramatic, because she is more dramatic. She's probably the most dramatic MOP villain. I mean, she names her hairbrush Gertrude. I'm like, what? I mean, that's just funny. This is a shame that the animation didn't portray the theatrics very well. You know? It's my cookie. Oh, that's not the mouth we want. Well, Nightmare Moon is looking at her, not the cookie, so that's annoying. And I've drawn Opaline friggin' huge, so let's fix that. Well, they're not that small. There we go. So like her hair goes round like this, but also goes like this. It's just a really weird design. I think it's just, why did they name her hairbrush? Just to give some kind of comedic moment for Opaline. And it was funny, but I'm like, you didn't have any other moments like that until this point. And I'm like, they had it in the... I keep getting the two mixed up because there's Make Your Mark and Tell Your Tale, the 2D one. They had so many more comedic moments for Opaline in that almost felt like Monty Python-ish, and I'm like, yes! Can we get more of that in the CG series, please? I know that's cancelled now, but oh my god, that would have been so much fun. Just have a really hammy villain and just completely commit to the bit of having a hammy villain. Because that's what I think they were trying to do with Opaline, and it was... they just didn't push it hard enough. Like, they didn't go full on with it. And they really should have. Right, let's just have... No, that doesn't work. Okay, let's just put... Yeah, that works for her. She has these weird cuff things that are like halfway up her hoof that don't make any sense. But okay. But that's G5 for you, nothing makes sense. We can say that because that weirdo's gone now. They announced it several times that they were leaving. I'm like, okay, leave. Wow. I'm going to make a dramatic exit and smash the door on the way out. I'm like, okay. Good for you. Whatever. You missed drama. You missed some drama. You missed me getting pissed off in my live stream at someone because they called Mastercode toxic, and I'm like, dude, you can dislike someone's content or disagree with their opinion, but just because they disagree or have a different opinion from you doesn't make you toxic, doesn't make them toxic. So I'm like, no. Let's not do that. So I told them not to call a friend of mine toxic, and they basically threw their toys out of the pram because they were wanting to slag another reviewer off, and I'm not here for that. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So yeah, it was that kind of bullcrap. So that's what you missed, Chris, and it's fine. These things happen. It was somebody that was like, they were asking me for my opinion on the whole conflict between G4 and G5 fans, and I'm like, I said I don't think there should be conflict between G4 and G5 fans, and they were peeved off that I said that and called me a G4 purist and all that kind of nonsense. Or no, they called me a wasted critic, and I'm like, well, I have over 84,000 subs, so I don't think that's exactly wasted, but okay, whatever, dude. So that's not a bad flex, that's just the truth, you know, like the less drama the better. So that's what you missed. Wasn't anything major. They just weren't happy that I wasn't like getting on board with them wanting to start crap. So I'm like, no, this is my live stream, and if I don't want to talk about a certain thing, then I'll say so. So anyway, cheese, I like it. Discuss. Yeah, it's like, I prefer G4, most people do. And there are fans of G5, and that's fine. But I don't like it when someone says you can't like both, or if you like G5 then you can't like G4, or whatever bull crap that guy was trying to start. I'm like, so what? G5, but I don't really like chastise them for liking it as long as people are happy. This is it. Like, I've made videos about what I didn't like about G5, but the stuff I said in that, I felt like I constructed it in a way that didn't slag off people that liked G5. So I like to think I've grown from that. I used to be that kind of person, but I've learned not to be that way. And people, I hope I have anyway, but if people are going to disagree with what I say or are offended by anything I say, that's on them, not me. So, you know, because I'll listen to someone else's statement about something, and if I get offended by it, I've just decided, you know what, I'm not going to pursue this is not worth my energy, so I'll just do something else constructive. But there are people that live for conflict, and that person clearly wanted a fight, and I'm like, no, we're not doing this. But then they made it personal by slagging off a friend of mine, and I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Even if I disagree with a lot of things that Masako says, but I'm not going to dislike the guy You know, that's we're adults here, right? Most of us are adults, or at least are mentally mature enough to understand the difference between disagreeing with someone and being an arsehole. You know? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, cheese. Okay. So there's Nightmare Moon. My cookie. There. Then we know what the conflict is. There. G4 deserves the cookie more than G5, apparently. Okay, whatever. Star Trek Next Gen is better than the OG. I'm like, okay, whatever. Star Trek Deep Space Nine is better than Voyager. I'm like, yeah, but at least Voyager has an actual Trek in it. Like, Deep Space Nine is set on a space station. They hardly ever go anywhere unless they're going to the Dominion War. I'm like, okay, can we go back to the Voyager thing? I find that more interesting. It's all opinion. It's fine. Okay, Maddie wearing Samus helmet. Okay, so we have one more super chat doodle. Let's concentrate on the fun stuff. Yeah, we're gonna draw Maddie wearing Samus helmet. Isn't that fun? Let's do that. That's fun. So about those Pokemons. Yes. Let's talk about that local sports team. I love Italian cheese. It's weird how the USA adds so many unnecessary preservatives in their food. Seriously, Mum has food allergies. She could eat more different things in European countries. So the food laws in Europe are a lot different than America in regards to the preservatives that are added into their food. There's a big reason for that. I mean, America, first of all, is obviously a continent. So they need to literally preserve the food for its shelf life, because a lot of it where it's produced and then where it's sold is quite far apart. So they need to do that. But yes, they add way too much unnecessary preservatives to their food. And I try to avoid eating processed food as much as I possibly can, but because I live in America now, like I've sadly put on so much weight because of the food culture in this country being so ridiculous. So yeah, I do miss European food. Also, quit caramelizing everything. I know, like, I remember one of the first times I went out for breakfast with my now husband and his mother. We went to a breakfast place and I wanted some French toast, but I didn't want syrup in it. I just wanted it like plain, because I would just put a pinch of salt on there and that's fine. So it was like eggy bread. But no, the syrup was already mixed in the batter, so that had sugar in it. So then I was like, okay, I'll get fruit salad then. Guess what the fruit salad was covered in? Sugar. Like powdered sugar. I'm like, why? I just wanted a bowl of fruit. Has Maddie and Mary met Thunderblight yet? No? No? Main reason for that is me and Bliss have talked about doing a magic lesson with Maddie and Mary and Blissy. I don't want to give much of it away, but it is going to involve both Maddie and Mary. And it's not going to be how people think. So I don't want to discuss it because it's her project, but there's other things that have taken priority, and you know, life happens, so a lot of things are on hold for reasons. But yeah, that is something that hasn't happened yet. I would like it to happen. It's just a question of how and when, and I know there are so many projects that Bliss wants to get done before we get to the Maddie and Mary magic lesson, and that's perfectly fine. Seeing how some ingredients are illegal in the UK. Some ingredients are illegal in the US as well. So, which is crazy talk, frankly. Pretty fine, just beware of what you read. Yeah. Like, I just don't agree with the food culture here. So, like, because American culture is very much based on the road trip journey, and therefore, while you're on a road trip, you need your amenities there. So then that industry built up around that concept. So then the fast food industry exploded, and then that just became the norm. That became the American diet, fast food. And I can't stand fast food. Like, I'll enjoy it for a treat, or if I am on a road trip, then yeah, okay, I'll eat fast food because, well, you kind of have to. But there are people that eat nothing but fast food, and I just can't get behind that at all. I don't eat steak, I don't eat red meat. Because I'm allergic to red meat, so I don't eat it. Regal Flair did make me aware that a place near her sells UK confectionery, so guess where I'm going when I visit her. Ah, yeah, there's not many places here that do that, which I'm sad about. So. Or, like, I don't get the opportunity. What were we doing? Maddie wearing Samus helmet. Okay. Guys, if you want to request a doodle, if you make a super chat donation and tell me what your idea is, then we can do it. But keep it simple, because these are meant to be like fast, quick doodles. If you're wanting your OC or something a bit more complex, then I would appreciate it if it was a commission instead of a super chat doodle. You can find my price list for my commissions in the description. It does take you to my Twitter, so just keep that in mind. But if you want a link to the price list that doesn't take you to social media, I can share the Google Drive link instead. I'd rather try local restaurants. Well, that's the thing though, because like when you're on the road trip, there's not very many local restaurants unless you drive into a town, and that can really draw out your road trip. And if you're on a time limit, you're better just biting the bullet and going to a fast food place. I know I've been on a few road trips where we stopped 3 times in one day, and each time was fast food, and I was so ill by the end of it. I was like, yeah, it was just way too rich and just too much. Anyway. Glasgow's getting a Popeyes? Oh man. Is it going next to the Taco Bell? Okay, so Samus helmet. Is it just the helmet she's wearing? Just the helmet? Okay. Did it a lot when I travelled as a kid with my grandparents in the RV. Well, if you have an RV, then yeah, stopping at local restaurants will be a lot easier, but yeah. Let's do this one. I mean, I don't know how we're going to make it clear that it's Maddie wearing the helmet. How are we going to make it clear that it's Maddie wearing the helmet, though? Put the hat on the helmet. Okay, I can get behind that. I like that idea. I can do that. It's getting really warm in my office now. I love the design of this helmet. It's fun. We have only one Hooters in the UK, Nottingham, and I actually went there in 2022 with some MLP friends. Food was pretty good. I've never been to a Hooters. Which Metroid game is your favourite? Metroid Prime, of course. I'm like, is that a question? Best game in the series is definitely Metroid Prime. Well, sorry, rephrase. My favourite game of the series is Metroid Prime. There, I fixed it. Mad Pony as Snail Pony. What's Snail Pony? I've always said that if Maddie had to have an element based on the MLP G4 elements, hers would be inspiration. Mary's would be spontaneity. I'm gonna be right back. I need to use the restroom. Let's put this on screen. B-R-E restroom. Be right back. And we're back with people that look like things. Oh, I'm kidding. Alright, where's my stylus? There it is. It has a designated spot I should put it when it's not in use, but do I do it? No. It's just like how I don't name my layers. I do name my layers, the ones that are here, but yeah. I like to contradict myself a lot, have you noticed? Could have put that in a layer on its own, that would have been easier. Take the stylus to your hand, yeah. So it's Pony Maddie as a snail. Okay, that's kind of weird, but alright, whatever. Wherever floats your boat, dude. Okay, let's do this first. Okay, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Make it clear that it's a helmet. Maddie, wearing the Samus Aran helmet. So, we have... That can go right there, I guess. We make it bigger. Alright, we have a lot of doodles here. Samus. There we go. You know how I just said I don't name my layers? Yeah, I do. Where's the hat? Oh no, I forgot the hat. Yeah. Ah, darn it. Yes. Ah, no. You're right. Okay. And I know the music stopped. I will fix that momentarily. There. How did you forget the hat? Because she's already wearing a helmet, so she's gonna forget the hat. There. Music. I wish I could take music requests. Like back in the day when I first started streaming, before licensed free music had to be the thing, I would take requests, but I can't right now. What I can do is take requests for genres of music. So let's go for instrumental rock for now. Completely changing the vibe of the stream. The Picarto days had more freedom. The Picarto, I wasn't getting the traffic, and I found I was getting more interaction on YouTube, so I switched to YouTube. That's the main reason. Picarto was fine, and it was tailored for artists, but it wasn't really tailored for viewership, at least in my experience. So as a small YouTuber, it's... I wouldn't say it's obscure, it's like, it's very niche, which isn't the same as obscure. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing bad, and it works for some people, but, and for me it worked for a while, but then it got to the point where I was getting so hung up on how the stream itself looked. You're more well known on YouTube than Picarto. Well, I know there's people on Picarto that are, that's their platform, that's where they're known. I still follow people on Picarto, I just don't really watch it anymore because I joined a few streams just to talk, and it just didn't fan out. I had one very bad experience. I joined someone's stream and they were drawing some pony stuff, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting. So I joined and started talking, and there was like 3 people in the call, and one of them had a big problem with me turning up and said so on mic, and it was just awful because they were talking about me like I wasn't there, like I wasn't a human being, and just started saying the most god-awful stuff. And the person that was holding the stream eventually said, hey, knock it off, they can hear what you're saying. And they were like, oh, good. I'm like, okay, well, this, I don't need this, so I left. And that experience kind of put me off using Picarto in general, if I have to say. So yeah, I'm like, I don't need that kind of crap. I was just trying to be social with people, and yeah. I know people don't like me, and they don't like what I say, and they don't like my opinions, and that's fine. But to talk about me like I'm not there, it is like, no, it's cowardly, first of all, because there's no consequences, you know. because it's anonymity is a wonderful shield. People can say whatever they want online, can't they? And they don't get in trouble for it. So they think that they can say whatever they want, and it's true, they can. And that's the worst thing about the internet, really. So, yeah. No, we don't want compliments. Don't listen to him. No, don't listen to Frost. He's an idiot. No. You're not an idiot, Frost. But I don't like compliments. No, I don't want the Maddie Burns helmet. Okay, we did that. So what are we going to do now, guys? We don't have any more super chat things, do we? No, we do, because we had the snail thing. Ah, Maddie Snail. Yes, I forgot. Maddie Snail. Maddie Snail. Too bad, you're getting your compliments. No. There was that one that I need to change. Which one was that? I can't remember. Oh, the Discord was hypnotizing someone. Was it that one? I believe it was that one. Okay. Let's do the snail first. Oh wait, you said Discord hypnotizing Pomni. Or a honeydew made that request, I think. You know what? Let me scroll up. Let me look at what the super chats are. No, that's not that one. Dried cookies, but that one. Yeah, hypnotized by Discord. Okay. Yeah, so it was Aura Honeydew that made that request. So you want Discord hypnotizing Pomni? Is that what you want? Pomni from Digital Circus. You know, I've never drawn Pomni, so that will be an interesting challenge. Let's do the snail first. It's interesting because she's just going to be... It's raining! Oh. Yeah, thoughts on the Amazing Digital Circus. Like, people asked me that earlier, and yes, I've seen it, and I don't get the hype. I don't like the art style, I don't like the animation. I don't feel like it fits the tone of the story at all, because it's like all about existential crisis, and it's like, oh, it's so surrealism, and I know it's meant to be a callback to like early CG stuff, and I get that, but I'm like, if you're going to, in my opinion, if you're going to really go for this realistic look, I'm like, why not go full on with it and make it 2D instead of CG? Or if you're going to do it in CG, I don't think it can be achieved with CG with a low budget. So yeah, isn't that the point? It has that Squid Game's colourful madness. Maybe I've just seen too much French and Russian animation that really goes hard into surreal or like Gerald Scarfe stuff. Maybe I've just seen too much of that to really appreciate what CG can actually do in regards to depicting surrealistic crap, but I just don't feel, to me, that it works. And you know, it reminds me of Reboot, like Frost just said. Yes, but Reboot was a science fiction series, and this it is not science fiction. It's psychedelic for sure, but I feel that it doesn't go far enough into that visually. It has the characters depict that they're going through a lot, and they really push the expressions, especially with Pomni, but I'm like, dude, there's so many other shows and movies that have gone so much harder in conveying this psychedelic and existential crisis stuff than this. And people are like, oh, it's the first thing that's ever done it this way, and I'm like, it's really not, but okay. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying that I see the appeal, I just don't get... I guess it I don't... Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why it's so popular, because I've seen other things that have done this idea so much better. But it's just not as marketable. Because it's not character-based stuff that I'm talking about. It's like that Disney short that they had. It was goodness, I can't even remember the name of it right now. Disney, what's it called? Destino, like that kind of thing. Destino is amazing if you want something that's really trippy, that's on the same vibe as Digital Circus, but it's not circus based, it's actually set in a desert, as most Salvador Dali paintings are. Destino is incredible. It's one of my favorite shorts. So I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm so... I'm trying to word this right without coming off as a snob here. And there's a lot of stop motion stuff, like Jack Spankmeyer stuff. It's like that stuff is incredibly disturbing and conveys to me the idea of existential crisis in a far more successful way than Digital Circus could ever achieve, in my opinion. So I guess maybe it's just not on my wavelength, and that's fine, you know. It's not for me. Jan Svankmajer, he's let me look him up. Jan. He's from Czechoslovakia. He does like a stop motion series. He's done his own version of Alice in Wonderland. He made maybe about Faust, or however you want to say it. Little Otik. It's like what Pinocchio was based on, and he made a stop motion movie based on that story. It's like Pinocchio but horror. And not in a cheesy, I'm going to murder everyone horror. Like, the puppet came to life and started eating everything, including people. And yeah, it was all stop motion. So maybe it's Pinocchio is hard to begin. Well, kinda. I would say that it's more like a cautionary tale than a horror, but yeah. But then Pinocchio was released. It was like released chapter by chapter. It was an episodic thing. So that's why each and every version of Pinocchio is so vastly different, because there's so much more to the story than people realize. And Disney definitely played it safe, as they always do, because they have to be marketable to the family audience, you know. So yeah. But yeah, Jan Svankmajer is incredible. I'm into a lot of like European animation that is just not mainstream. There's the Brothers Key is another one that's a good one too. So maybe I should make videos about this stuff. I don't know. you're a Star Trek fan, have you ever seen or heard of the Orville? I started watching it and couldn't stand it. I'm sorry, it was so predictable with its humour because Seth MacFarlane is as funny as he can be. All of his jokes are the same, or either the same or incredibly predictable. And that's what I found with that series. I'm like, I can't get behind this. It's just, I could predict beat for beat what the next joke was going to be. And yeah, I couldn't do it. I found it frustrating. Sorry. Okay, so Maddie is a snail. I'm just listening to a royalty-free rock music thing. No, Orville does not do Star Trek better. It's ugh. Like people, I've heard a lot of fans of Star Trek are saying, oh, like Star Trek, the new Star Trek is nowhere near as good as the old stuff, and I'm like, have you seen Prodigy? Like, so many people are writing off Prodigy because it's animated, and I'm like, that is one of the best Star Trek series I've watched in a long time. And yet they're valid in their statement that Star Trek is not what it used to be, and I'm like, well, good. It's always ever changing. I mean, I hated Star Trek Discovery. I hated that series, and a lot of people did. The main reason is because, to me, Star Trek is meant to be about the ensemble cast, and that one mainly focused on one character, and I'm like, you're kind of missing the point on what Star Trek was originally meant to be. It's about the journey of humanity, not the journey of one person. I'm like, no, no. So, but no, I don't agree with that statement about Orville being Star Trek but better. Like, no, I would say that about something like Galaxy Quest, for instance, but that's more about celebrating Star Trek, the franchise and the fandom, rather than Star Trek itself. And I excuse me, I was hoping that the Orville was going to be more of a parody of science fiction in general, and I mean, it was getting there, but I just could not get into it because Seth MacFarlane's humour is just so damn predictable. Unfortunately, New Trek still does that anti-fan thing where they go in the opposite direction of what the fans want, while the company and show shouts it's not for you. Same with new Doctor Who. I don't like Doctor Who. My favourite is Star Trek the original series. It's nice how Nichelle Nichols and Gene Roddenberry were given a space funeral, ashes launched into space. Wow, I need to get a drink. Talking too much. I just didn't like it. I liked Star Trek Lower Decks. That was good. And I liked Prodigy as well. I haven't watched an awful lot of the newest Star Trek stuff, admittedly. So, you know, it's just not had the time. Or Picard, for instance. Like, I just said that Star Trek is meant to be about the ensemble cast. It's about a group of people's journey. It's about humanity's journey, not one person's journey. And to me, like, Picard didn't really feel like a Star Trek thing to me. The reason I say that is because Star Trek is meant to depict an optimistic viewpoint of where humanity's going. And Star Trek Discovery and Picard did not feel like that. And that's what I feel is the problem with current Star Trek. Is that it doesn't feel optimistic, and that's the thing that I look for in a Star Trek thing. And I feel that in Prodigy. I felt that in Lower Decks, in spite of it being more of a piss take of Star Trek. It's still a Star Trek thing, and it was still very respectful to the franchise. Orville, I'm like, you know, Red Dwarf, if people have heard of Red Dwarf, Orville was what, it felt like it was trying to be Red Dwarf in the humor aspect, and I'm like, nah, Red Dwarf did it so much better. And Red Dwarf was, it was a funny comedy, but it was a smart comedy. And I didn't feel the intelligence in Orville, it just felt too simple and straightforward, and that's not what I look for in science fiction stuff, I'm sorry, but no. This is all opinionated. If you like Orville, that's great. You know, I'm just saying I don't. And that's fine. We don't have to like the same things to get along, guys, you know? We can have different opinions, and it's fine. I'm not going to be an asshole about it. Are you a fan of punk music? Yes. Season 3 of Picard was good. It was made by someone who liked classic Trek. Unfortunately, they fired the runner of that season over making the other showrunners look bad. I honestly prefer Star Trek over Star Wars. Star Wars is too political, and Star Trek, at least the original generation, is about exploring the unknown and anthropology. Both are political. Both are incredibly political. Star Trek is incredibly political. It has that at its core. It's about discrimination. It's about equality. It's about interspecies relationships. It explores the cultural differences between the alien races, which I feel like Star Wars did not do at all. So it was, for me, Star Trek is more interesting in that aspect. Yes, Star Wars is just as political, if not more political, than Star Trek is, but for me, it's Star Trek, for me, is more personal. Star Wars is basically King Arthur set in space. So, yeah, I prefer Star Trek over Star Wars. I mean, I like Star Trek and Star Wars. I just like them for different reasons. If I want to watch something like, you know, it's in the name Star Wars. If I want to watch a show with battles in space, I would watch Star Wars. If I want to watch the human race fight for their right to exist, you know, I would watch Star Trek, because that's what they do, especially in Next Gen, the very first episode. Prove to me why the human race has the right to exist. You know, like, oh my god, like, what do you say to that? Would Kirk have handled that? No. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Alright. Snail, Maddie. Favorite Star Trek or Star Wars character? Favorite Star Trek character is Captain Janeway. Favorite Star Wars character? Favorite Star Wars character? Probably Han Solo. Well, that's another aspect about Star Wars that makes it different from Star Trek. It definitely dives into more of the spiritual and religious side of existing, whereas Star Trek didn't really explore that all that much. Have you seen The Expanse? No, not yet. I really want to. I have not seen that yet. Janeway is my favorite character. I think Bones would be close behind, or maybe the Doctor, but that's mainly because he serves as comic relief more than anything. But he still has his dramatic moments. Those were the Star Wars Trek, the mass migration of Star Wars. Ugh. You can like Star Trek and Star Wars, come on. Have you sorry, I'm misreading stuff. Have you ever seen the Three Stooges shorts? Oh, a long time ago. A long time ago, yes. Oh, I think you asked me if I was watching The Acolyte earlier and I didn't answer your question. I want to. My adopted sister has been telling me, hey, you need to watch The Acolyte. I'm like, that's another Star Wars series. There's just so much of it. And they're like, I know, but you will like this. I'm like, And if my adopted sister is telling me this, someone that there's very few people other than my husband that knows me so well to tell me, hey, you'll like this, you should watch it. I'm like, it's just getting the time to do it, you know? So no spoilers, please, darlings. Okay, so just have their hair just being a mess. I definitely love the original Star Wars trilogy. That's the Star Wars I grew up on. I did see the prequels in the cinema but you know, I very much preferred the original trilogy. So there's Maddie as a snail. You can't really tell it's a snail shell, so I'll just put some spikes on it. There we go. She's a snail. There. What a random thing to be asked to draw. Okay, so let's bring this down. You are a snail. Any more super chat donations for drawings? Otherwise we will be scared and confused as to what to draw next. Because otherwise I'm going to end up drawing random things. And we have someone ordering a commission on Twitter. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate the communication that way. And I'm going to figure out a way for people to contact me without using social media. People will be able to contact me via email. The only issue with that is, frankly, just emails get lost in the ether. They sometimes go to spam mail, which happens a lot, so that's why, one of the reasons why I prefer taking orders in social media. Have you seen Inside Out 2? No, I haven't. Dr. Wolf has, and he wanted to talk about it, and I'm like, no, don't spoil it, so I'm like, And I don't think I'm going to get to see it in the cinema at this rate, so cinema trips are so expensive. Ugh. I used to play Minecraft, not anymore. That's not typical Dr. Wolf. He's one of the sweetest, kindest people I know. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. Okay. And he knows that. I've told him that, so there we go. If the last few years have taught me anything, with what I've gone through, if someone means a lot to you, you tell them, because you don't know that one day that opportunity will never come along again. So, yeah. because I know the guy quite well, it's not so much psychology, it's more theology he's into. But as a the character Dr. Wolf is about psychology, but the actual person is more theological. But no, I like psychology as well, actually. I need to correct myself there because of a video he sent me recently. Never mind, I'm talking bullshit as usual. Sorry for swearing. I'm married to a Marine. Need I say more? Okay. I need ideas for drawing. Inspirational music in the background. Oh, you like that? Yeah, it is nice. It is nice. Maddie has a squirrel. Okay, we can do that. Maddie is a squirrel. I really want to draw Mary Sue as a dog just going squirrel. Snail. That's funny. One more question. Would you cosplay as Maddie or Mary, or fursuit of the two? Fursuit? Oh, if they were ponies, you mean? Oh. Well, when I go to cons, I'm usually cosplaying as Maddie, because she's basically me. But, if it was a fursuit of their pony forms, I feel like Mary would be more fun purely because she's an alicorn. That would be fun. I don't think I would ever actually wear a fursuit though. I get claustrophobic, so yeah. Maybe Sue is dog and Maddie is squirrel. That would be awesome. We're just doing Maddie as a squirrel for now. I know, but I said earlier in the stream to keep things safe for work, and I'm kind of contradicting my own rule here. I'm curious, Maddie, growing up in Scotland, did you celebrate Halloween? No, I grew up in a household where everything was of the devil, including Halloween, so I never got to celebrate Halloween as a child, never went trick-or-treating, never went to Halloween parties or anything like that. So, sadly, no. Halloween's not as big a thing in the UK as it is in America. I mean, they do celebrate it, but it's just not as big because we have Guy Fawkes Night, which is kind of bigger than Halloween is. So Guy Fawkes is very similar to like Independence Day, kinda, sort of. It's not celebrating Scottish independence or anything because obviously Scotland doesn't have that, but it's like celebrating an event. Remember the 5th of November. Yes. What am I doing? I believe All Hallows Eve actually came from Germany, didn't it? What do you think Mary Sue would do if dropped in the Gen 5 world? Probably the same thing she would do if she was dropped into the G4 world. Yay, ponies! Let's run around and be a pony forever. I don't know. Well, she's an alicorn, so she'd be like, "Where's my castle? I have the best castle ever." I haven't done the Mary Sue voice in a long time. Okay. What am I doing? Based on research, Halloween came from Ireland and brought to America via Scotland and Ireland. I very much doubt it came from Ireland because, if anything, I don't know. Oh, it was Celtic, yeah, but no, I mean, you do a quick Google search, but I mean, like, the internet isn't right about everything because there's the Celtic festival that you're talking about. That's okay. That might be where Halloween came from, but it's maybe, I don't know. It was circling back to the point of what I grew up with. Like, I didn't grow up with it, in spite it maybe being from my country. I didn't grow up in it. I don't think it did originate there. It's like an earlier form of the practice of trick-or-treating maybe came from the Celtic culture, but Halloween itself, I think, is very much an American-made thing, and most American-made things came from German culture. So, I mean, hamburgers, for instance, not American. They're German. Hence the name, hamburger. They're made from a place called Hamburg in Germany. So, yeah. You know, it's like pizzas are an American invention. They're not Italian. They are very much American. Flatbread is Italian. Pizzas are American. Christmas trees are German. They, well, kinda. I don't know. Anyway. What are we doing? Oh yeah, Maddie is a squirrel. Okay. Maddie is a squirrel. Maddie is a squirrel. Squirrel! Yeah, we're gonna base it on Bucky from Emperor's New Groove. I just think that works better. I do like the squirrels from Sword in the Stone, but I think Bucky would work better for drawing fast. So let's do that. Well, apparently I can't draw today. Okay. Screw that. It's like, feet don't work like that. Yes, this looks horrendous, I'm very aware, but it's fine. She will look cute eventually, it just takes time. She also looks very masculine. I need to fix that. Alright. It's based on Bucky, yes. I'm using him as a reference for this drawing, yes. Is she wearing her hat? Is Squirrel Maddie wearing her hat? That's the most important question for today. Is Maddie Maddie without her hat? That is the question. Obviously she has the hat. Okay. She has the hat. Alright, well. That's me told, huh? Obviously. No hat, no Maddie. No, she's Batman. I was originally going to suggest Doc as Squirrel based on how Mary sees him, but he's not here to ask, so we got Maddie. Yeah, but it's... I just rather not, especially if money's involved. It's like, we don't have their permission. I mean, he probably wouldn't care, but I do. But, yeah. Or he wouldn't mind, rather. Not care. He would care, but he wouldn't mind. I think the only stipulation is like if you're depicting someone else's character, you depict them in character. Like if you know them, you would know how not to depict them. I think it goes without saying what I mean by that, so yeah. Well, her squirrel ears are hidden now. There you go. Maddie is a squirrel. See these super chat drawings, they're actually good challenges for me to like just like practice drawing faster. Cause you're yes, it's a mess, but it's like it's a structured mess, so you can use it for drawings later. Well, there you go. I mean, it looks more like a squirrel wearing Maddie's hat rather than Maddie as a squirrel, but it's fine. Any more super chats, because I'm going to stop for food break soon. If people want to make a request, now's the time to do so. SMG4. No, I haven't, but I've been commissioned to draw a few fan art pieces of that. But I had to stop doing it because I haven't seen the stuff, so I felt kind of bad for drawing fan art for a thing I'm not fan art of, even if it's commission. I'm like, I'm not really passionate about this, so yeah. The squirrel joined the hat club. Yeah, let's go for that. We'll say that instead. It's coming up to afternoon tea time, so if we don't get another super chat in the next 5 minutes, then I'm going to stop for a food break. Oh, you don't have to say yes to everything that people commission you to do. You can say no. I mean, yes, people need money, but I think morally speaking, like, your morals need to have more value than money. If you don't stick to your morals, then you're just a sellout. So That's my opinion, of course. I mean, yes, you have to pay bills, you have to make money, but I'm like, like I've had people tell me, hey, you should draw like not safe for work stuff. Then you'll make bank. I'm like, yeah, but I wouldn't feel good about it. I'm asexual, so I'm not going to have any passion about drawing that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't feel right about doing it. Maddie as deer, antlers included. Okay. The Maddieverse is expanding rapidly. Yeah. And yeah, like Deadpool fan says, there are people that will request really twisted things, and sometimes it's just them testing the water. They're not actually wanting you to do something like that, but you never know. So it's like, even if it's like fictional cartoon characters, it's still sick for anyone to request something like that. Even worse, if the artist actually says yes and does it, they're getting paid for depicting something like that, and that is sick. So yeah, it's no, you have to have rules in place. You have to have morals. Yeah, no, I'm glad you said no to that Deadpool fan. I'm glad you're like, no, I have my dignity. I have like morals, and you know, it's no. So even if like people commission me to draw a cartoon character, and canonically they're a child, and they ask me to draw them as an adult, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. But if you're wanting me to draw a character that is canonically a child and they're in a relationship, even if they're drawn as an adult, I'm still going to say no. It's no. I find that incredibly sick. Anyway, what are we doing? Maddie is a deer. Maddie is a deer. Okay. Maddie is a deer. Maddie is a deer. No, I'm not drawing the Skibbity toilet. No. Can you request something else, please? I appreciate your donation, but yeah, I'm not doing that. Sorry. Again, we're talking about morals and dignity, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Sorry. You don't have to make another donation, you can just, like, request something different. Maddie deer is Mad deer. It's like you were hearing what I was saying, and then, like... I don't know. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not go there. I appreciate the donation, but... request something else, please. Dear. But if Maddie was a deer, it would be a female deer. And I know there are species of deer that the females have antlers, but just for the sake of saving time, I'm like, can I just draw like a fawn, like a baby deer with the Maddie hat? Bambi Maddie. Oh, you need lunch. Yeah, I need food too. Ugh. We won't be ending the stream, we're just stopping for a food break because I think I have a premiere call at 5 PM EST. It's currently 20 to 4. I could go for another hour, I think. So I either continue going for another hour and then get food, or get food and then come back and stream for a bit and then do the premiere call. Let's decide. If we get more donations, then we'll do that. Okay. You need a more square jaw. I am hungry now. I am hungry all the time. There, she's a baby deer. That is not how real deer's noses work, but you know what? I don't care right now. You want her to have antlers. Yeah, you did say that. Well, if she looked like a wolf, she would be more like this. I mean, I kind of get it, but okay. Yeah, that's not dragon like that. Not how I draw dragons anyway. But okay. Giving her antlers anyway. Yay, distractions. Yes. The hole in the hat about here. can see where you're seeing the deer, but yeah. Fix that. Now all I can see is wolf. I'm like, okay. Okay. No, it's fine. It's like, how often have I drawn deer, guys? It's fine. We're gonna have these problems. With things we've never drawn before. That's kind of fixed it. Not really. They're really not. Deer are nothing like ponies. But if you're going to draw in the MLPG4 style, then yeah, they're going to be similar. But no, they're nothing like horses or ponies. Okay. As a reindeer, are you going to see Bambi? I think that's the best I can do right now. Clearly, I need to draw deer more. Because that's awful. Okay, let's see. Don't want that. Don't need that either. Delete that. Don't need that. Okay, Maddie. Maddie. Samus, you can move over here and be smaller to make room for Maddie. Maddie. Right here. Terrible drawing. Probably the worst of the entire day. Okay. Most favorite cubed animal is a moose, mainly because of Rocking Bullwinkle. Alright. 10 minutes. I really need to stop for food. I'm hungry. Rosie Hells, if you want to change your donation idea, let me know in the general chat. If not, otherwise, thank you for your donation. It's not worth drawing, it's amazing deer picture. I appreciate the encouragement. It's clearly something I need to work on, is drawing deer. So, it's fine. Also, I didn't flip the drawing while I was doing it, so that's a problem too. Speaking of ponies, are done with MLP Maddie on your channel. Do you mean, am I done talking about MLP on my channel? Oh, okay. Well, I made an MLP related video about 4 months ago, so that was the Art is Everywhere video about Izzy Moonbow. I don't want to say I'm done. It's never really, I never meant it to be like exclusively an MLP channel. I never started off that way, but it just so happens that my MLP content is the most popular stuff. That's the most recent MLP video I made. So I'm not done with it. I think there's more stuff I can talk about. I just don't want to just talk about one franchise. I want to talk about lots of different things. And I've always wanted my channel to be that. So, no, I don't think I'm done. I made 2 Cartoon Saloon videos, one for Wolfwalkers and one for that, oh, I can't remember what it's called, the one about the Selkie, help, the one about the Selkie. Song of the Sea. Yeah. I don't know what else more can be said. I mean, I recently, or my husband bought me the Art of Wolfwalkers book, as well. Yeah. So I haven't read it yet. I'm making my way through the Art of Wish book first, which is such a self-serving thing, as most Disney books are. It's such a slog to get through, but yeah, I do want to make another video about Wish eventually, the Disney movie Wish. There's a lot to say, and I feel like there's stuff that I want to say that hasn't been said yet, but I don't want to make that assumption really, but I need to get it out. I need to get it out there, so. Yeah. The Wolfwalker review, that's an old video, but I mean, I don't know what more can be said. Like, I know some people are like, oh, you should talk about Cartoon Saloon, and I'm like, why? And they're like, because they're Irish, and I'm like, but I'm not Irish, so yeah. I'm like, I need more of a reason than that. It's like saying to someone that's American, oh, you should talk about like American animation more. Like, that's quite a vast topic right there. So, yeah. Anyway, that's. I don't like being asked to do something just because I'm Scottish. I don't like that. So, like, I'd like to talk about Cartoon Saloon more, not just because of people thinking that Scots and Irish are the same. They're not. Different landmass, different country. But that, I know that's not where you're coming from. You want me to make more content because I've talked about it before. So, yes, I think I would circle back to talk about Cartoon Saloon again eventually. Okay, so 5 more minutes and I'm going to stop for food. So I'm going to leave it open for doodle requests, super chat requests for another 5 minutes. And if I don't get more, then I'm going to get food. And probably... we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. But this has been fun though. We haven't done a live stream for a while, so it's fun getting back into doing this kind of stuff again. I think... Oh, okay, so you guys tell me in the chat, what is your favourite Super Chat doodle from today so far that's on the screen? And then I'll tell you mine. Or maybe you guys can guess which one my favourite is. You are lurking. We mustn't lurk in doorways. It's rude. Oh, you like the squirrel? Yeah. You like the cookie? My cookie. Maddie holding the plushie. Yeah, that was kind of cute. I like that it's not really a plushie, it's just a grumpy baby Godzilla. But I like it. It's fun. Now the cookie one has 2 votes. Oh, you like the trampoline as well? Yeah, the trampoline one's cute. Boing. Happy Maddie, boing. Is he spirit? What? You like the Godzilla one? Okay, so it's between the cookie one and the Godzilla one. For most of you guys. Those 2 have the most votes. It's not really voting, I'm sorry. I'm just counting how many times a certain one has been said. What I mean is that the trampoline one gives me... Oh! It gives you Izzy vibes. Ah, okay. I understand. 4 more minutes. And I think I'll end the stream unless I get another super chat request. Because I am hungry. Three minutes. Yeah, Total Drama is fun. The first season was good. To me. The others, not so much. Oh, good lord. I'm tired. Yeah, the second one was good as well. Yeah, I just remember more from the first one. The TF2 crew doing that Total Drama series. Mm. I will have fun with Snack. And I will have an amazing day. Thank you. And you have an amazing day too. Everybody will, because we have 1 minute left. And I think I'm just going to end the stream because I'm hungry. And I have a premiere call in an hour. So I'm like, okay, how long will it take me to cook something? Not very long. So that gives plenty of time for me to prep. Got some good music choices for the background. Oh hey, it's not my choice. I just picked rock music royalty free, and it's been playing some jams. It's been great. All right. It's gonna hit 4 p.m. EST shortly, and yeah, we need to end the stream soon. Alright, so music, you need to pause. So we're going to share this page on Twitter. It's also going to be posted in the Discord server. Oh, by the way, if you want to join my Discord server, you can do so by supporting me on my Patreon. There should be a link to that in the description below. If not, I am going to post the link in the chat. There we go. So you can join the Discord server. And members of the Discord server and patrons get first dibs on commission slots. So if you want to order a commission and not miss the opportunity, the best way to do that is to support me on Patreon. Let me get a link to you guys right here. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. There's me on Patreon. And that's another awesome way to support content creators like myself, is either things like Patreon or Ko-fi, because Ko-fi, I do have a Ko-fi, but I don't like sharing it very much because, well, frankly, I just find Patreon easier to manage. So it's like a tip jar kind of thing that you just like throw money at someone like once a month, and you get certain rewards for that depending on what tier you choose. So the Discord server is the $5 tier, and then there's also the $10 tier, which allows you to join voice chats in the Discord server, which can be fun. So when we do them, which frankly isn't often enough, we will try to do them more often, so that this could do that. And obviously I'm open for commission still. The price list is in the description below in the stream, or if you go to my Twitter or Instagram, you can find it on there as well. But thank you for just hanging out today as well. That support in itself. So yeah, this has been fun, and I'm so glad I did this today. It's kind of turned the weekend around a little bit, so that's awesome. Alright, take care everybody. I'm Mad Munchkin, stay creative and all that nonsense, and my apologies for the drama earlier in the stream. Alright, take care.